This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network, now in its 8th year of talk like you've never heard it before.
Live from Harlem in New York City. Yeah, I'm Alex, and this is the Ramble, and we go until midnight tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, the face that's looking at you right now is that of Stephen Kravitz. Hello, Stephen.
Hello, Alex. How are you?
I am fine. I'm a little lightheaded today because I think I had this positional vertigo. I think my neurologist figured out by just, I think they say, okay, follow my eye, and then if your eye kind of quivers, it means you have positional vertigo. So that's what I've got, and so some days I'm lightheaded, and other days I'm not. So
What are you gonna do?
A life full of not misery, but
Adventure.
Yeah, exactly. So how are you doing?
I'm doing all right.
You doing okay?
Right.
You doing all right? Yeah. Okay. I just I want to hold on a second. I want to change something here because I want to. There we go. Okay. I just needed to do something here. I have all this technical stuff I have to do while trying to talk to somebody. Yeah. So you feeling okay?
Yeah, I'm feeling all right. I had a physical last week.
Yeah, and how did that come out?
My cholesterol is a little high.
A little high?
But my blood pressure is low, so go figure.
Yeah, well, I last time I had a test on my blood, they found that I didn't have blood in my stool, but I had stool in my blood. So, it was...
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. We'll see you later. So they found your cholesterol. That was it?
That was it.
You mean out of all of that, that's all they could come out with?
No, everything else is fine. My liver's fine. My kidneys are fine.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good. Just don't... I really tell people this. I honestly believe this. Don't go to the hospital. Otherwise, because like I went to the emergency room.
Right.
Because then they put you through every test known to mankind because they don't want to get sued.
Right.
And I just had a friend who the same thing happened to him. He went into the emergency room and he's still there 3 days later.
Is that right?
Yeah, because they're giving him colonoscopies and endoscopies and this oscopy and that oscopy. What I often said I wanted to do is I wanted to have a situation where I would hire a gastroenterologist and a urologist, and they would do an endoscopy, which goes down your throat.
Okay.
As a colonoscopy, which goes up your butt, right? And then a cystoscopy, which goes up your penis.
Oh, God.
I had one of those.
That must hurt like hell.
It doesn't really, but you'd rather not have it.
Yeah, no kidding. I don't even want to think about it.
I figured, down at Guantanamo, if they wanted them to talk, they could just do it under the guise of good medical care.
Right.
And just say, let's do a cystoscopy, but by the way, let's not put him out.
Well, they put you out for it.
No, they don't put you out for it. I remember it now. They did it, and I had two of them. And
lucky you.
Lucky me.
Yeah, no kidding, huh?
And they were not fun, but they weren't particularly painful.
Okay.
But anyway, what I want to do is have the cystoscopy, an endoscopy, and a colonoscopy all at the same time, and then see if they could see each other.
Why not?
That's the way I roll.
You're living the dream.
Yeah, I'm living the dream. Yeah. But anyway, so but it's good that you went and you got that stuff done.
Right. Right.
It isn't a full thing, but it does enough to give some indication of, you know.
And I went and got my pneumonia shot and my flu shot yesterday.
Yeah. Tomorrow I'm going to get my booster, the latest COVID booster. Have you gotten that yet?
No, I haven't gotten that yet.
Yeah. I'm thinking we're getting that tomorrow. You know, I just keep up on all the shots. I feel like, remember you had a dog,
right?
And they said, has he had all his shots?
Oh, right.
I feel like a dog. Have you had all your shots? You know, so.
Have you had a flu shot and a pneumonia shot?
I had a flu shot this year. I've had a pneumonia shot in the past. So I think if you only need one pneumonia shot, I think every 10 years or something like that. Yeah. And let's see, have you had your polio shot?
Yeah, when I was a kid.
Yeah, well, you know, it's coming back again.
Yeah, so they say.
We had one case in New York City, and they've gone batshit.
Right, no kidding.
Well, you know, the thing about polio that was amazing is that it was a disease that we literally wiped out.
Right.
On the entire face of the earth.
Right.
But there were little pockets here and there, you know, and now it's kind of coming back because parents don't think when their kids are growing up, hey, let's make sure we get his polio shot.
Right.
So now kids are not immune to it. So people are taking care of it now. But they went batshit over one case, and they found it in the water. They didn't even find it in a person.
They found it in the water?
Yeah, New York's water. The water that's supposed to be so great.
Right.
That it's the cleanest water in America, right?
Cleanest water on the planet.
We found polio. Actually, we found it in, I think, sewage or something like that. But, you know.
Well, what were they doing looking for it?
I don't know. They had nothing better to do. You know, I came up with a theory the other day that you won't get sick if you don't go to a doctor.
Yeah, no kidding, huh?
You know? I mean, I've had a situation like this where I went into the emergency room, and before I came out 14 hours later, they had done everything they possibly could, and they found something that might be dangerous, but you better go see a doctor immediately. And then they referred me to this doctor, this oncologist, and they looked at it, and they went, we looked at all your stuff, and we can't see you. You don't have anything. But the person at the emergency room was panicked over it. You know?
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Because the people at the emergency room are like, they're not the best doctors at the hospital.
No.
You know? And in my case, it was I never heard of this before, a PA, physician's assistant.
Oh, I've heard of it.
Yeah. So she was doing all the work up on me, and she was the one that sent me over to this other place. You know, oh, hey, you might have lymphoma. Well, okay, I might have lymphoma. So they looked at all the stuff, the oncologist, and said, we can't see you. You don't have cancer.
Right.
You know, so they're not. So
come back when you have cancer.
So I went through that, right? Now my friend goes in on Monday, and he's still there.
He's still in the hospital?
He's still in the hospital, as of us speaking when we're recording this. Yeah. He's just, you know, he's still there.
That's crazy.
And they gave him an endoscopy and a cystoscopy, not a cystoscopy, what do you call it? Colonoscopy. And they did all the blood work, and they did and they kept him in the hospital I guess 2 nights.
Right.
And maybe they might not let him out till tomorrow. And I'm going, what is this? The hospital wanting to make sure they kind of pad the bill? You know?
No kidding, right?
Yeah. You know, either that or it has to do with another thing I talk about, and that is defensive medicine. In other words, they don't want to get sued.
Right. Okay?
So they practice defensive medicine. And you're going, wow, you know, that's kind of incredible.
Right.
You know. So, I mean, what should happen is I think that all doctors should be insured by the government. Okay?
Oh, okay.
So they are then not afraid to go out and do this stuff.
Right.
You know, or to take a chance with you, or to try and give an opinion. But instead, they're going crazy. You know, they don't want to have to deal with you coming back to them and saying, "I'm going to sue you because you didn't find this or you didn't find that." So if they pawn you off on somebody else, that takes the responsibility off of them. And now you're in the emergency room. The hospital doesn't want to get sued, so what do? They overdo the whole thing. You know, they make a big deal out of it. So, you know, what the hell? But
So you can go to the ER and end up with a $20,000 bill.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, we pay. Well, my wife's bosses pay about $320 a month for each of us.
Oh, really? That much?
Yeah, so that we have the ultimate insurance. We have our Medicare, and then the supplemental, everything's taken care of.
Who's your supplemental with?
It's with AARP, AARP.
Okay.
I can't remember. I think maybe they do it through somebody like United Health or whatever.
Right, I think you're right.
But
I think you're right. I think they go through United Health.
But it's expensive. But I would keep it even after her people aren't paying for it anymore, just simply because I see it as insurance, a definite insurance that I won't have to. The only thing is, I started adding up the numbers, and I'm thinking, $320 a month, $320 a month. That's almost $4,000 a year. So, and they're only going to be paying 20% of what Medicare doesn't pay.
Right.
Of the 100%, they have to pay the 20%. So at the end of a year, unless I get really, really sick and get something that's costing hundreds of thousands of dollars, okay, am I going to see that money back, or am I just kind of like just paying it in advance?
Well, yeah, you're paying in advance so you don't get hit with a $100,000 bill.
That's probably what the best way to look at it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But anyway, so but that I used to have the 20% certain deductible and so on because it was under AFTRA and they had a deductible thing. So I'd always have to pay a little bit every time I did something like that. But
when I had SAG insurance, there was a deductible of $25, I believe.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, there were deductibles, but they didn't amount to so much that it went crazy. But I got to tell you, under this new plan, I just walk out of the hospital. I don't get a bill.
Right.
You know.
Me neither.
Oh, they do send me something from Medicare that says you may have to pay blah blah blah, but no, I won't because that insurance takes care of it.
Right. Right. Like I have Medicare, Medicaid, and supplemental.
Okay. Yeah. So, but here's what happens when guys like Steve and I get together and we talk about stuff. What's the first thing we talk about?
Health insurance.
That's right. or our current complaints, whatever they may be. Okay, I just turned on the air conditioner. It's getting damp.
It's getting muggy.
You know what? What is with the weather? Isn't September supposed to come and now everything goes cool?
Right.
And it's not. I woke up in the middle of the night having to turn on the air conditioner.
Is that right?
Yeah, because it was too humid.
Right.
It wasn't humid. It wasn't hot, but it was humid. And heat I don't mind. Humidity, go fuck yourself. That bothers me. So
well, that's what they say. They say it's not the heat, it's the humidity.
Yeah. And the humidity is always the part that gets to me. But by now, we're towards the end of September.
Right.
We should be into cooler weather right now. And how is that up there?
It's cooler, but today's muggy.
See?
Today's muggy.
When did you ever know that in the middle of September? In fact, I used to say, gee, why do we always say the weather's going to change in September, on September 1st? And usually always on September 1st it changed.
Is that right?
But it doesn't anymore.
Well, that's because of climate change.
Yeah. So, do we not have a climate problem? Nah, we don't have a climate problem.
Right.
That's why half of California is burning up right now.
Right.
You know.
And the other half is dealing with mudslides.
Yes. Well, no. What happens is you have the fires.
Right.
And then the trees get burnt down. So now you have heavy rains, and then you have mudslides because there are no trees to hold back the mud.
Right, exactly.
California's got a lot of problems.
Yeah.
And most of them are climatological.
Right.
It used to be, that Reagan was governor or something like that, but now the biggest problem is the weather-caused situations. I mean, it's amazing. It's just amazing.
Right, and there's people that denying this climate change. I love those people.
Yeah. Now you like it up in Massachusetts, don't you?
Yeah.
Is it good living, good life up there?
Yeah, it's okay. No complaints.
Yeah. And is there a lot to do, or don't you do a lot?
I don't do much.
Really? Kind of stay home?
Yeah.
Watch.
Stay home.
Yeah. Watch.
Play the guitar, play the drums.
Oh, now you were worried about your being evicted.
Right. I still haven't heard anything.
Because his apartment, not because he hasn't paid his rent, but because his apartment house has been bought up by somebody else.
Right.
And so you're afraid that they were going to let you go.
Right, or raise the rent, double the rent.
And you haven't heard anything about it, right?
No.
Could be nothing's going to happen.
Could be.
I mean, a lot of times people buy rental property as an investment.
Right.
Okay? And when they take it over, what do they want to kick you out for? You're paying rent every month.
Right.
And what? They'd like to raise your rent? Well, then lose you and then have to clean the apartment and re-rent it. I mean, to re-rent it costs a lot of money.
Yeah, no kidding.
I know because my wife owns a rental property here in New York.
Is that right?
Yeah, and every time somebody leaves, she's got to fork out a couple of $1,000 to get it all painted and fixed,
right,
and stuff like that.
So it looks nice.
Yeah. So it doesn't work, okay, that way. But anyway.
Well, the 4 apartments in this building, 2 are free.
2 are free?
2 are empty.
Oh, they're empty.
Right.
Okay, but is that because they keep them empty or because...
Well, one guy, the guy on the top floor passed away.
Yeah.
And the people on the first floor, they bought a house.
Oh, okay. So there are 2 empty apartments and
right.
nobody's renting them.
No.
Okay, so it probably is not in the best interest of that landlord, your new landlord, to get rid of you.
Right.
Okay, because then he's got to, he's already got 2 empty apartments. He wants 3.
Maybe 4.
4. So I mean, you're fine. I think you're going to be okay.
Right.
I mean, you'd rather not move if you don't have to, right?
Right.
Yeah.
If push comes to shove, I can move in with this woman in Memphis. I can move to Memphis.
You can move in with a woman in Memphis.
Right.
Why would you be moving in with a woman in Memphis?
Because we used to date. We were pretty heavily involved at one point.
Okay.
So we're still in touch.
So you're still in touch?
And she invited me to come live with her.
Well, that you may not have to pay rent, but there's another obligation there.
Right. Isn't that the truth?
You better put out, or I'm gonna go. I'm gonna get a new guy to live here. But,
right.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm going up to Maine next month to see her. She's flying out to the East Coast. She's coming into Maine.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to see her for a week, in probably the end of October.
Oh, okay. So is this kind of something that maybe?
Maybe. Who knows?
Is this bubbling under?
Keep my options open.
When did you first date her?
Around 1987, 88.
87, 88. So that was in San Francisco?
No, that was in L.A.
That was in L.A. Okay.
when I
Wow.
was at the Comedy Store.
Yeah. And how long did you date?
A few years.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. So this is something. And why did you break up? Am I asking too many questions here?
No, you're not asking so many questions.
Why'd you break up?
Oh, I think I cheated on her.
Oh, you think you cheated on
I
her?
think.
Wait a
I don't
minute.
know exactly why we broke up. To be truthful with you, Alex, I don't know exactly why.
Well, obviously, if you went for 2 years
Right?
and then you broke up,
Right?
there had to be some reason.
I can't think of it offhand.
Are you trying to block it?
I think so.
I mean, are you going to like see this woman and all of a sudden wake up the next morning and go, now I remember?
Right.
Did you ever do that?
I
Huh?
spent a week with her in Albuquerque a few years back. And now I'm going to spend a week with her in Maine, and we'll see how things go.
How did the week in Albuquerque work?
Went great.
Really?
Yeah.
So it wasn't at that point that you both decided, hey, let's get this going again?
Right.
I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I would have a tendency to say, okay, well let's go with it.
Right. Well, I don't want to end up stranded in Memphis.
Well, that's true. Why is she living in Memphis? What took her to Memphis?
Oh, she's from that part of the world.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's originally from Little Rock.
Oh, okay. All right.
She's a Southern girl.
Oh, okay. But you don't know if you want to live in Memphis.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Because you're a northern boy.
That's right. I'm a
Yeah.
Yankee.
You're a Yankee. Now, I guess if you live in the South, you like it. And
I
if
guess.
then if you don't live in the South, you don't like it. Although you know what town I really liked living in? It was one of the best towns I ever lived in. Houston, Texas.
Is that right?
And you would think a kid from California wouldn't like Houston, Texas.
Right.
Wonderful town. Wonderful town.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. I felt very bad. I don't think I felt worse about leaving any city I had to leave, because I was always leaving cities.
Right.
Only in one case, one step ahead of the law. That was in Houston, believe it or not, because
Is that right?
well, I had some goods on the police department I was going to reveal. That they were having Ku Klux Klan meetings at the police department.
Are you kidding me?
And they knew that I knew, and they were going to plant some drugs on me and bust me. And somehow I'd gotten this job in Minneapolis, so we left a day before the cops were going to plant the stuff on me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But I never left because I thought the cops were after me. I just left because
Right.
I had what I considered a job that was more in line with what I wanted to do with my career.
Right.
So anyway, but it's nice to know that maybe there's a little romance for an Altacaca like you. Yeah. Well, you probably never considered it again, right? You never thought
Right.
it was going to happen again.
Right.
But
Right.
this may be somebody that, sometimes there are people that you knew in your past that somehow come along and are part of your present,
Right.
and it turns out to have been a good thing, and a really good thing that you kind of passed up on earlier. So
Right.
So who knows?
Well, she's completely nuts,
Well, aren't they all?
as they say. Yes, sir.
Yeah. I mean, my wife's crazy.
Right.
I'm the one who's totally sane. But
Oh, of course.
to hear her say it, it's the other way around.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right, of
But
course.
no, that's wonderful. It'd be nice. Be nice if maybe you got something going like that.
Yeah,
Listen,
that'd be all right.
I just looked and we've run out of time for this little edition of Let's Talk to our good friend Stephen Kravitz. But can we talk to you again next week?
Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much to Stephen Kravitz. Bye, Steve.
Bye, Alex.
This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network, now in its 8th year of talk like you've never heard it before.
Hey, everybody. Hey. Oh, let me turn the mic up a little more. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Hi, how are you? Today, let's see, what did I do today? Today. I look at this. Wait a minute. Maybe you can see it. Wait a minute. I didn't take it off yet. You know what happens whenever you get a vaccination? They put one of these on you. Now, there's no reason to put it on you. You know, I mean, it's not like, whatever. It's going to get infected, and I mean, they don't put any alcohol over it afterwards to make sure it doesn't get infected and so on. But I went and I got my COVID booster, the 5th COVID I've had in how many years? Maybe 3 years, 2 years? I don't know. Anyway. But as I look here, there's nobody calling the program. And this really starts getting vexing to me, Oh, there's somebody. Here comes Alan, okay? So I'll just admit him for the moment, and we'll see if anybody else calls, Yeah, but anyway, I went and got my my little shot today, and here I am, all juiced up for COVID.
Smart move.
Huh?
Smart move.
Well, of course it's a smart move. I mean, I wasn't not going to get it.
I'm
What?
not on time. My camera's slow or something. I don't know.
Well,
It doesn't matter.
don't worry about it. It looks fine here. See?
All right.
Yeah. So anyway, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing good. How are you? Other than you got your shot.
Well, I got my shot, and I'm feeling a little puny.
I get that way after a vaccine.
Yeah. And it's usually about 8 hours afterwards. So it happened, and but I got it, so that's good.
Good.
But
I'll bet Brian's got his already. Oh no, he just got over COVID. He's got to wait a while yet.
You got to wait what? A couple of weeks?
Couple months.
Couple of months after you've had COVID? How do they know you've had COVID?
They look at you.
They look at you?
Yeah.
I'm trying to eat my dinner,
Yeah.
and I'm watching you on this side, and the first thing you say is, well, nobody's calling, so what do you think I do? Panic.
What do you mean you panic?
Because if I sit here and watch you while you're starting the show and nobody's calling, it's going to be I'm quitting this. Why do I do this every night?
No, you know what you're going to get from
go in the park.
I am so tired lately, and I get exhausted doing this show for some reason. Maybe I'm just bored with it. I don't know, but
you have Phil on too much. That
something.
would exhaust me too.
I'm thinking about changing that actually, but I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I was thinking about going to 2 days a week or 3 days a week. Mondays, with that show, and then a Wednesday and a Friday.
I think that's a good idea.
And then that would mean that I could get rid of Phil.
God, the show would be so much more relaxed.
Well, all I know is the numbers have gotten terrible lately, of people watching the show. And I don't know that doesn't have to do with Phil. I mean, last night, if I were listening to this program, and Phil, if you're listening, I'm just speaking the truth. If I were listening to this program last night as a casual listener, I'd turn it off.
I rewatched the show in the middle of the night to catch what you said at the end that I don't catch.
Yeah.
And I gotta tell you, I don't. Poor Phil. I mean, not poor Phil. It's just the whole group disagrees with him, but he continues on his conspiracy theories, and his economics. They're even more funny.
Yeah, but You know, I mean, you know, I mean, I just, I don't know. Last night I was especially irritated.
Yeah.
You know,
At
because,
him or just overall?
well, you know, I gotta tell you, you know, how you constantly stand up for this guy. I mean, I think he's just doing it because he feels he has to. I can't believe, because I know him to be a fairly intelligent guy, that I think I don't think he believes what he's saying anymore. You know? So.
Yeah, that's possible. I don't constantly. I only stood up for him for a couple places.
Well,
You
I mean,
know,
I've
it
stood
comes-
up for him over the years, and I've kept him on in one form or another. But quite frankly, I just think that last night he was so disruptive, you know. And there was a time in which I said to him, "Listen, you're getting too little disruptive. Would you back off, please?"
And he continued to talk.
And he
Then he
continued,
talked for 5 minutes.
"Huh?"
They talked for 5 more
Well,
minutes.
no, I don't mind him talking. It's the what can I call it? It's the sidetracking of the show.
Mm.
You know, it's like you say something and he I don't know how to put it. You know,
It's not the way you want the show to go anymore. That's
no, I'd like it.
You want it to be more gentle and.
It isn't even a matter of it being more gentle. I mean, I don't think we're living in particularly gentle times, but on the other hand, I think we're living in times that we're getting a little. What's the word I'm looking for? I'm just so out of it, to tell you the truth, because I had this shot today. I just, you know, I just feel that we need to have a dialogue going, as opposed to an argument. You know, and he's always arguing. You know, and I mean, come on. I mean, let's face it. In the last 24 hours. I'm surprised Trump hasn't taken a gun to his mouth, you know, because everything is not going his way,
That's for sure.
you know. And I don't care what you feel about the Attorney General of the state of New York, Trump's going to have to defend himself against that.
He can't have much money. He's got so many Class B lawyers. He can't get the A's anymore.
No.
The A's don't want to work for him. They watch what he does to lawyers.
Well, because he number one, he's difficult to work with. He thinks he knows everything. I mean, if you hire a lawyer, you shut up and listen to the lawyer. You know, you're not a lawyer. You don't micromanage your lawyer.
That's right.
And that's what he does. So the best lawyer he can come up with is Rudy Giuliani.
Please. Now
Yeah.
Rudy's probably going to be disbarred and maybe even go to prison.
Rudy doesn't. I don't think he has the ability to be a lawyer for Trump, because I think his law, what do you call it? Law,
Bars.
whatever. He lost it. You know.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't have it in New York anymore. He's not legally a lawyer in New York any longer. So, you know, I mean, it's. Let's see here. Owner. I think this might be Jason.
Jason.
No, it's just a green
Air conditioning
picture.
Jason? No.
We're just getting a green picture. Oh, it's the Incredible Hulk, it looks like. You know?
The Hulk.
It's
Huh?
Adrian. She's coming in on her iPad.
Yeah. What is... because owner is usually Jason. You know, but I don't know. It may not. It may just be somebody who's... Oh, there he is. See,
Hey,
it is
it is.
Jason.
Yeah.
I told you it
Yeah,
was...
my wife put some tape over it.
I told you. She put some tape over it? Why'd she do that? Does she think people are going to be watching her?
Yep.
Jeff, let's see your whole face. It looks like
There you
Kilroy
go.
was here. Yeah.
There you go. You're
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. So anyway, you know, I'd like to. I don't mind spirited discussion. That's not what I'm talking about here. But Phil has become disruptive again. You know, and it grieves me, because I like Phil. You like Phil too. You know.
Right.
And I'd
He's a
hate
good
to.
person, other than his politics.
Huh? I don't know that that's his policy. I can't believe that he believes all of what he says. You know, even if I wanted to defend Trump, I think occasionally I could come up something where, well, Trump was wrong doing that. You know, but he can't even come up with that. You know, and for credibility, you know. So, how you doing, Tony?
I'm doing okay.
You doing all right?
A little sore, but okay.
A little sore?
Yeah, nothing crazy though.
What do you mean sore? Have you been working out?
No, I had a procedure to get ready for radiation.
No, okay.
Yeah, so I don't want to go into it, but it's kind of not pleasant, I guess. But it wasn't that bad. They gave me a Valium, Alex, and I never took drugs before. It was 2 milligrams.
Mm-hmm.
It must have took the edge off because I wasn't even really that nervous. It was uncomfortable. Poking you with needles to numb you.
Yeah, but you know, I was telling somebody who knows what your situation is that I would have sent you to my oncologist.
I couldn't hear you.
I would have sent you to my oncologist, who is the preeminent oncologist in this field. You know, he's the guy who pretty much has written the book on the seed stuff, the seed implants, and.
Yeah.
You know, and I hear you're going to get 25 radiation treatments.
Yeah, light dose.
And yeah, well, that's not. It'd be better if you got the 5. You know?
What's that?
Definitely.
The 5. It's called. They call it CyberKnife, but that's a brand name. But as opposed to 25, it's 5, and that's what I had, and it wiped it out. You know, but it's a higher dose of radiation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
I think I heard about that. I kind of opted for this. I just figured, and then I'm gonna get the seeds then after.
But why did you opt for it?
Well, I really rather not discuss because I was discussing it with, my friend who's a nurse too. So she was saying you should do this. It's kind of standard procedure. The different drugs that you have, it kind of does the same thing.
Yeah.
So I kind of ran it by her. It's all. I mean, they all work the same in this.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
I really rather get. I really don't want to discuss it though.
So Alex.
Well, I'm just saying that if
I know.
If you were
but
interested,
there's so many different variations. I'm not trying to.
No,
I'm just so tired of talking about it.
There are no variations. There are 2 things. There's radiation, and then there's the seeds.
Yeah.
There's also one other thing, and that's hormones. Okay, but they wouldn't give those to you with what you have.
No.
But if I were to do this all over again, I would not go for any other doctor than the one that I had. I mean, this is the guy who wrote the book on seed implantation, and also is one of the leading testers of what they call the stereotatic radiation, which is much more radiation, but it's only 5 episodes, and that's it. You know, I mean, do whatever you want to do.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, they gave me different things to do, and I discussed it with a couple of people. Yeah. And to me, I feel like this is what I'm going to do. Really, at that point, I was kind of like, I was going to opt for treatment anyway, and not watch it.
Well, right? No, you don't want to wait and watch.
No.
Yes,
Jason.
Jason.
So just have to give me a spoiler alert because I'm behind on my episodes. Your swollen lymph nodes. Is it cancer? You dying?
You know something? What happened with that was really strange. The doctor at the
had an infection and your lymph nodes are swollen and it was normal?
Well, no, the doctor at the emergency room was, I guess, trying to keep the emergency room from getting sued or something like that, So she said, "Oh, you gotta check this with a blood hematologist oncologist, and see what's going on there." So she sent over all the stuff they did on me, the blood tests and the what do you call it? What do they call the
hemoglobin?
No, not the MRI, but the other thing.
CT scan.
CT scan. I'm out of it tonight. Can't come up with words. And the CT scan and so on. Sent everything over to them. And then I called them the next day, and they said, "Yeah, we got your stuff from your doctor, from the emergency room, and I've turned it over to our oncologist here, and we'll get back to you." And the next day, she got back to me, and she said, "I'm sorry, but unless you have cancer, we can't take you." And I went, "Well, wait a minute. I'm supposed to. This doctor said I'm supposed to see an oncologist, right?" And I'm thinking about this, and they say, "Go see your doctor, your primary physician." So I went to my primary physician. He said, "They wouldn't see you?" And I said, "No." They said, "Well, here's a blood guy, oncologist, whatever." And I called them and made an appointment. And then I called these people back, and she said, "Well, no, maybe you got me wrong. No, they don't want to see you because they've looked at all your blood work and your CT scans and all of that and determined you don't have cancer. You don't have any cancer in your lymph nodes and in your blood." And so he said, "And we just told you to go back and see your doctor for whatever follow-up might have to happen." I got them wrong. So when I found that out, I just, I canceled the appointment with the other hematologist, oncologist, because I'd probably get the same answer. "Hey, we've looked at your record. We don't see anything here." Either that or they give me every test all over again.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that I had. Yeah, I don't think that I had anything. Nothing approaching what the thing you would worry about getting is lymphoma, and I didn't have lymphoma. They looked at all the work and they said that. So that's what happened on that, since you weren't up to date on that.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. But I'll be dead soon anyway. So, yeah. What the hell?
You got a little longer.
Huh?
You got a little longer.
Yeah, about a week and a half, something like that. So we got the shot there. I got to tell you something.
Is that the third booster, this one? Or?
This is the third booster, yeah. We go up there, and I think I probably said this on this show, that what bothered me about signing up for Rite Aid was I had to fill out all this paperwork on the computer, and it was extensive, and it was a pain in the ass, and you had to take a picture of your insurance card, and you had to send them that, and you had to do this, and you had to answer 8,000 questions, and blah 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 blah, and so on and so forth. And I said to Marjorie, I said, thank God I'm an old guy, but thank God I know something about computers and filling these kind of things out, because if I didn't, I wouldn't know what I was doing here. I wonder what happens to people who don't know how to do this stuff, and more than that, maybe don't even have a computer. So now we go to get our shot, and we have to wait. Okay, we had an appointment for I had an appointment for 11:20, and they didn't see me until I finally went up to them and said, "Are you going to do anything?" And meanwhile, while we're sitting there, this old guy goes up and says, "I'd like to get the third booster." And they said, "You have to go online and sign up," which is what they told us. And he walks away, and then he comes back and he says, "I can't go online because I don't have a computer." And this proved my point to me. Mm-hmm. That the very people that need to get the booster can't get it because maybe they don't own a computer, or they don't know how to sign up, or they don't know how this whole thing works. Mm-hmm. They should have a machine at the Rite Aid where you could fill stuff out and they help you with it and so on. But no. And what their suggestion was to them? Find another pharmacy.
Remember we talked about it Saturday, I said this is exactly what they did at the beginning of the pandemic.
Yeah. And the very people...
Same shit all over again.
Well, what's happening here is the very people who need it can't get it because, they don't have a computer.
That's what I was saying, is they're doing the same thing that they did at the beginning of the pandemic. Everybody go online, and then people couldn't do it. My mom couldn't do it. I had to do my mom and my mother-in-law. I had to take them down. I had to fill out the forms for them and the whole bit.
Yeah.
See, I guess I would disagree because we went online and we set our appointment, and I didn't know Rite Aid even had it because we ended up going to Walgreens, and they were welcoming people in afterwards. Like they were so booked up, and everybody was waiting in line, but then there's still people coming in. Oh, old people, can I get the extra shot? And they were putting them in line and saying you got to wait. No, they were doing it.
Yeah,
but
this round online.
For this round?
Yeah. I already had mine.
No, I mean this last bivalent one.
Yeah, I had mine, and that's what I'm saying. There was old timers coming in there, and like, I'm coming in to get my shot, and they're like, did you schedule an appointment? No. Well, you got to wait a little bit, and they end up getting it.
Well, that's what was happening in the other end too, because they would have extra shots, and they got to get rid of them because they're in the refrigeration.
Yeah, but I mean,
extra ones, and they'll start telling people in the store, "Hey, you want a shot? You want a shot? We got to get rid of these things."
Yeah. So it's really got to be the very people who need it are maybe not getting it because they just can't get it. It was easier to get the other ones. The other ones you just, if I remember correctly, the last two I didn't have to sign up. I just walked in and they took me. We filled
We're
out
in
all
a pandemic, and they were all over the place.
That was a different story. That one we had to wait 2 hours in line.
I got mine within a week of it came out when it came out.
Yeah,
so.
But you've had all yours, haven't you, Tony?
I think I got only one booster.
Only one
booster. I didn't get the second one yet.
Well, and then there's a third.
I know. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I just didn't want to get the second one really, right away.
No, let me ask.
And then when I saw I got a third one.
Why didn't you want to get the second one?
I don't know. I mean, because I figure I had COVID.
Did you?
already.
You got the first and the second, right?
Yes.
And then you got the third.
I didn't get the third. I just got the first boost. I
well,
never got
you
the
know
second.
something. Those are a long time ago now.
I didn't get the second.
You need a booster.
I didn't get the flu shot yet either. I was going to get that first.
I mean, what's going to happen? I think, and correct me if
together.
correct me if I'm wrong, but I think at this point they're going to be giving you a COVID shot every year. It's going to be like getting the flu shot, and maybe, as you say, part of the flu shot. But I think, to begin with, the president screwed up the other day by telling people it's all over with, the coast is clear. It's not. Clearly not. People are still dying.
To a point, I agree, because hospitals are not overrun anymore.
They're not.
If you didn't get the shot, fuck you. It's your own fault. So if you die, whatever.
Well,
hospitals aren't overrun. If you have
there's still 1,000 people a day dying.
If you have a medical condition that makes you more susceptible to it, you need to be wearing a mask.
Well, I'm 82 years old. That's a comorbidity right there.
But it's not. You're
yes,
healthy.
it is. No,
you're healthy.
No. I'm 82. While I may look healthy, I'm 82. That's not healthy.
I bet you anything, when you had COVID, if you didn't get that extra medicine, you would have been just fine.
I had cancer. That made me.
And you probably would have just been fine. Well, you already had your vaccines.
Well, that isn't what the science says.
I disagree. I think that's what the science does say.
You
had your vaccines.
Alan finds follows the science every day. It's his hobby. And would you agree with me that
I would agree with you, Alex.
That I was in a high risk.
do I.
I was in a high risk category because I had cancer, not terrible cancer. The kind of I almost.
They're more concerned about your age right now than that you had cancer.
Yeah.
That's more of a concern with COVID. So your doctor was smart to give you the Paxlovid, and you might have been okay without it, but why take that chance?
Yeah. Yes.
I was talking to my uncle from the hat place that because he was calling me to see how everything was going.
Yeah.
And he got all the boosters and everything, and he got COVID before the vaccine came through. It was like my mother passed away in January of last year, so he got it in November, and his lungs are so bad he's on oxygen in the house, but he's a heavy guy, and he's never. My aunt bounced back from Phyllis, but Arnold, I was just talking to him. Alex, he can't go from here to the bathroom without oxygen breathing.
Really?
It did that much of a number on him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think, you know what? I mean, when Biden said that the other day, you really can't say it's over if you have to
Is
wear
he vaccinated?
Yeah, he's vaccinated, yeah.
Yeah, but and being vaccinated helps a great deal. And if he comes down with it again, like I got COVID.
How was the second time you got it? Were you suffering? Did you have any?
I got COVID once, and it was a couple months ago, and it was I called my doctor, and Marjorie got it, and we called the doctor, and he said, "Okay, take the Paxlovid." In fact, I said, "Should we get it?" And he said, "Yeah, if you want it, I'll get a prescription for you." And we took the Paxlovid, and with me, she had a few symptoms. With me, it was like I didn't have anything.
Yeah, my brother.
I tested positive. I took the pills, and the next thing I know, I'm not testing positive.
Like when I had COVID, to me it felt like what people describe as allergies, but I'm not allergic to anything.
You see,
I don't
but
have
also
allergies.
you're younger.
I agree. But at the same time, I was vaccinated, just like other people who are older get vaccinated. It was nothing to me, and I got COVID. I had to take a week off of work.
Bottom line is everybody's different. That's the bottom line.
You might have got
There
the.
you go.
You might have got.
That was going to be my point, just what Kevin said.
Age has something to do with it. Okay, age has a lot to do with it. How old are you now?
You're different. You're different. You're a different age. There's different age, different bodies, different people. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yes, Tony.
And I was going to say this when my brother and me got COVID. The first time my brother got it with me, this is before the vaccination came out. I was going to tell is that he was okay. Like after 2 days, he had a slight cough, nothing. When he came back from Florida with his girlfriend from Disney World, they caught COVID like a petri dish down there. He was sick, coughing for about almost 2 weeks, and he's fully boosted because he works in the city.
Well,
I
now
thought Queens was the Petri.
Well, now what you do?
We had the highest death rates out here.
No, but now what you do? Now what you do is you take the Paxlovid, and that just really kills it.
He had to ask the
And
doctor.
guess what? Paxlovid doesn't work on some people, and they die. So it's all different people, different bodies.
We know so little about this.
Everybody is a different kind.
As long as you're wearing a mask, you feel safe. That's fine. People who drive by themselves with a mask on, they feel safe. So let them do it.
That's right.
Jeff,
You got to think about how many people are sitting in a room with a cold, and 3 will walk out without a cold, and the other one will get sick.
Yeah.
Same.
Jeff had his hand up. Jeff?
Oh, I was going to say about my my sister, who's 70 years old, and real healthy person, happens to be a nurse also. She got COVID, and it's been going on for over a month, several months, and it doesn't go away.
Right.
And ultimately, they're talking about giving her some surgery.
Really, her lungs are better.
Yeah.
Some people have long COVID.
Kind of like what Kevin said a minute ago. Everybody's different.
Well,
That's
something,
right.
I don't know that I still don't have effects from it because this tiredness that I have all the time, and the lightheadedness, I think may have had something to do with getting the COVID.
You had that before you had COVID.
You were complaining about that before you had COVID.
No, it seems to have become a little more prevalent.
It could be long COVID, like.
Well, it's long haul, but it isn't long haul. I mean, no, I don't think that's terrible, but I do have something going on here that's just making me weak and so on. Like lately, I've had a hard time walking. Taking walks.
All being in your 80s.
Well, my legs are kind of like really screwed.
I did too, and I'm 65 and I haven't had COVID.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Look, are you over at Ray? Are you over at Tony's house?
I am. And I'm here with his mom, and we're having a drink.
Can I say? I told Mr. Phil. You want to hear something funny? I like when he does that. You know, Ray,
What?
the doll of my mother has better teeth than me. I'm jealous.
Better teeth than Ray.
I mean,
Oh,
look, they're
sorry.
talking perfectly straight.
I have good teeth.
Ray has
I have.
good teeth.
I just
Oh,
got
I'm gonna
over
say
COVID
something. Ray,
yesterday.
I say one thing. Ray on that show the other night. I listened to Josh's show. It was entertaining. Ray, he's really good. Ray talking.
Yeah,
Who, me?
yeah.
Yeah, I told that to Phil.
I
He said,
gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with Josh, because
I mean, he said you're entertaining, Ray. I was just saying. You have, well, because maybe you're an acting speaker.
yeah, I gotta figure out what to do with
I have a
Josh
podcast,
because
too. I've been doing it for years. So.
yeah. But no, the question is what I'm going to do with Josh. I'd like to give him something, but not have to put too much work into it myself, you know. So I'm trying to figure out what to do because Jack will be back, I think, on Monday.
Oh, nice.
At least he says so, you know.
Good for him.
And by the way, I talked to Will Durst. He called me last night at 1 o'clock in the morning here, and I went, "You know what time it is here? Oh, I didn't think about that." And I hadn't talked to him in a long time, so I talked to him today. And it's not like he's 100% better or something, but he's starting to be able to stand up on the leg where
good
he
for him.
wasn't able to, and now he's kind of able to.
And where is he? Is he at home or
no,
still?
he's still in the hospital. He's still in the nursing home. But the thing is, he's been there as of I think this week. 3 years he's been
Oh my God!
since he had a stroke. You know, I mean, but they think they might be able to get him home. They think that's might be a good possibility. I sure hope so. I think it would do so much to help him get better. You know, it's funny. I was talking to who was I talking to the other day, and I just said, just seems that every time I talk to somebody, a friend of mine, all we talk about is, so how's your thing and how's your thing, and you know, are you know, and it's. I'd like to talk to somebody who doesn't have an illness. You know,
I mean, I feel like getting old really sucks. I mean, it's like it just stinks.
Marjorie has a medley of illnesses. You know. You know, oh yeah, but then again, she does something. She goes to doctors all the time.
Yeah.
She's got a doctor for this, and she's got a doctor for that. And you know, if you got enough doctors, they're gonna find stuff wrong with you.
Yeah,
You know, I mean,
Shecky
got through spending 3.5 days in the hospital, and they gave him every test known to mankind.
Oh, jeez.
And when it came out, they found something.
He's
Yeah.
back home.
Yeah, nothing's going to kill him, but they found something. And, you know, when they put me in the emergency room, they tested every inch of my body, and they found a couple of things. Nothing that's going to kill me, but a couple of things.
I
So-
asked the guy that. Am I dying? He
Well,
goes,
somebody
"No."
once said to me, I wouldn't be sick if I didn't go to doctors. You know?
You know what? Alex, is this true? Someone I was talking to one of these old timers, one of my mother's friends, and he used to say to the guy John, he says, my brother, he's in his 70s. He goes, his older brother never will go to the doctor. He says, you know why? It's like you said, if I go there, they're gonna find something.
Well,
If
I
I'm
mean,
gonna go, I mean, you have to go. It doesn't go for it.
I mean,
Oh yeah, there's like, you know, we do testing for infectious disease and leukemia and all this stuff, and one of the smart guys who really helped the company go along in R&D, he went and he passed away from something that could have been caught if he would have been detected with it, if he would have been going to the hospital. So yeah, I mean, it sucks to die from not being detected on a disease when you work for a company that detects disease.
yeah.
Oh my God.
I have cancer, but if nobody tells me, I'm fine.
Yeah,
Yes, right.
can't get help.
But you know, I mean, so I don't know. I mean, all I know is that I came out of that emergency room terrorized by the fact that, I might have lymphoma, you know, and nobody told me right. I mean, when this nurse, this woman at the oncologist called me back and said, well, they don't want to see you. Why? Well, they won't see you unless you have cancer. And I said, well, how do you know if I'm thinking to myself, well, of course I don't have cancer till you tell me I've got cancer. You know,
He told.
but what she was trying to tell me was they checked everything and they couldn't find any reason to see you because they didn't see that you had anything. But she didn't put it that way, and I was
You should've
terrorized
called
for
him
2-3
you know, you
weeks.
should've said.
What?
You could have said like this: go in the back, make sure I got. I mean, I know I have it. I got it. At least I got it. He says, "Okay, I can go home now."
But then again, I'm getting to the point.
With your teddy bear?
Oh, I love it. Yeah, I got it in my room. He sent me a teddy bear. That was nice of him.
I know he's very considerate. He'll send you stuff without even asking about it.
Well,
Yeah.
but this says get well on it.
Yes.
Did it have a camera attached in it? You know, like the eyes or
He's
something?
probably tracing me. He got his cop stuff.
Yeah.
No.
But anyway, so what
Get
do
well teddy bear.
So we were talking about Phil and him not admitting that Trump's got troubles, but I think Trump has finally is in a corner, and I think
My brother and me were talking about that.
and
he
he-
lied to the banks.
What?
Me and my brother were talking about. He thinks he's going to go to. He lied to the banks to get those loans.
Oh yeah, he
And like
lies.
that's the only thing wrong he ever did, Tony?
But at the same time, he actually had a good point. Like the banks went along with it.
I was saying the banks are complicit with this. I wonder if this is a bigger. They know what they're doing. They just don't give out loans. There's probably more to this story than you know.
Yeah, but he lies about everything, you know. And what
I
I
don't
think
know
what
why
I think
we
is
know
wonderful is what the mask that's been taken off of him is the mask of millionaire. You know, it's like it looks like he ain't a millionaire, a billionaire,
millionaire,
rather.
billionaire?
Billionaire.
Billionaire.
Millionaire is peanuts.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean Jeff's a millionaire many times over.
yeah. But no, but he's not a billionaire. You know, and I think that's wonderful that we now know that.
One of the things that he did is he picked this special master, and this guy is all over him.
Well,
Don't muddy the waters. Is what he said last week.
They went to the what do you call it, the Trump people? Oh no, the Justice Department went to what do you call it? You know, they went to. Oh God, my mind
The
is.
master
terrible.
judge?
No. The appeals court. They went to an appeals court to appeal what the other judge had said about them. Hold on a second. Let me think about this a second. I'm really out of it right now. It went to the appeals judge, appeals court, to just say, hey, we want to be able to have the right to look at these documents again. And they listened to the Justice Department, and they said, there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to. The other judge made a wrong determination. They completely vilified that. You know, the woman who had only been a judge for like about 2 weeks, and the Trump picked because she was in his pocket. The only difference was he can't complain now because this appeals court, 2 of the 3 judges were appointed by Trump.
Yeah. So he has nothing.
And they said they don't have a case, you know, because the latest thing from Trump, I mean, he's told Sean Hannity this, and I heard it any number of times today because MSNBC loved playing the clip over and over again. He said, you know, all I have to do is say that something, a president only has to say that something is classified, declassified, and it's declassified. In fact, I don't even have to say it. All I have to do is think it.
Yeah, I heard that.
Like
What
Superman.
an idiot.
And I'm going, what is this? This psychic president? What is this?
But
Wait, what?
They had this meme. They had this meme today. That's Trump as I dream a genie, and she's blinking. Declassified.
I like that.
Bringing up a bunch of documents. You know,
Yeah, I
when you
mean,
go to jail, we don't
have you
declassify.
ever heard anything that stupid in your life?
But to a point, he is kind of right.
No,
because
he's not.
A president,
No, he's
a
not.
president can declassify anything.
No, they can't.
And there is not really.
No, they
There is
can't.
not really.
No, they
there is-
cannot, Jason.
There is not
Process.
really a specified process of him declassifying
There
it,
are certain.
unless he wants to make it. Unless he wants to make it like
You're wrong.
legal.
You're wrong,
But
Jason.
but it is still government property. So even if he did declassify a document, that document is still government property, so he can't take it.
Yes, Alan.
So Jason, you're saying that he can put out on the internet all the codes and the instructions,
Yes.
how to launch, listen to me first, please, how to launch the missiles or nuclear weapons in other countries. Just put it on the internet. That's declassified.
According to what I have heard, where people were actually making the argument
Where did you hear?
kind of against him.
Where did you
they
hear?
were saying the president does have the ultimate authority to
No,
make something
he
classified
doesn't.
or
No,
declassified.
he doesn't. He has to go through a process which is also signed off by other people. He can't just say,
Especially the author of the document.
huh?
Especially the author of the particular document.
He has to sign off on it.
Classified it.
Yeah, yeah. You can't just do that. You know, you'd like to think that when you become president, and Trump believed this, you're immune from everything. You can do anything you want
You
to.
don't have as much power as you think you do.
You, including that old, touching.
Can't write a law.
Touching women on their pussies, because you're president.
Sign a law you can sign something into law, but you can't write the law.
The first 2 years of his presidency, he had the Congress, all Republicans. He couldn't get the wall built.
Yeah.
You know, he found out real quick that he's not that powerful.
But you can't just genie bink a law into being because you're president. You don't have that ultimate. Yes, you can say I want this to be declassified, and I approve of being declassified, and then put it through everybody else that has to also sign off on it.
Yeah.
Yes, Tony.
Trump would probably be the guy who played Monopoly when we were kids, stealing money from the bank. You know, when you think that, how come we're low on 500?
Yes, Ray.
I just want to say that the spirit of
Turn
what
up your
Jason
mic.
said-
Turn up your
Me?
mic.
Oh, you can't hear me very well?
No.
Correct.
Okay. Oh, see. There's that better?
Yeah, that's much better.
Okay. Let me turn original sound off. Okay. Yeah, I think that, like, technically what Jason said might be correct because the president does have the power to declassify, but there's been all kinds, there are also other things that come into play. The wisdom of it, the processes that have been established, especially since the Obama administration regarding classified documents and have been agreed upon by all the people in government.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he didn't follow any of that stuff.
No,
So-
there is a process, but
That's what I'm saying. You can't just say it's declassified and it's declassified.
no,
Well, he
yes,
said you
yes,
can think it.
but the president can actually say that. But there is a process, but it's not really spelled out. But
If there
the
was a
next
process,
president-
Jason,
the next
it is
president,
written
problem
the
is,
next
Jason,
president can say, "You said it was declassified. I say it's classified, and it's reclassified."
Well,
No, but it has to go like so. So if you say it's declassified to someone, they initiate the process. Somebody in the administration, they have to go to the person who classified it, declassified it, then it's stamped declassified. There's a whole process in place in the government, and everybody knows about it. And it's to help to protect our country and the people who are named in those documents and all of the things that can happen if those things get leaked.
Right, and then like I said, that the next president can say, "No, that's classified. That's reclassified."
Well, the judges said to them, they said to them, you can't have it both ways. You can say you declassified them, but now you've got to prove it, and they couldn't. They had no proof of it. The only proof they had was he genie binked it.
That's why he says I can just think it and it's declassified, and that's not true.
That's not true.
Yeah.
No.
Nobody would know it was declassified.
Yeah.
we are
Right.
not the drones you are looking for.
I mean, the president isn't the person who has to go through the process after he says, I want this declassified, and then people go through the process of declassifying it. But you can't just think it and then,
Yeah.
no, that's ridiculous.
I think Alex said the best thing yesterday, that Trump is a liar and full of shit.
Yeah. Well, that was a technical thing I said,
And he also says, yeah, I took these documents and declassified them, and in the same breath he says, oh, the FBI planted them. Which is it? Which is it? I mean, you can't have it both ways.
That's right. I want the documents back, but the FBI planted them.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
But like I said, even if he declassified it, it's still government property.
Yeah,
You can't just
that's
take
true.
government property.
the final part of this is it is government property, and you don't take it home. Okay, and if you do take it home, you sign out for it, and then you return it the next day.
But you don't leave it where everybody can see it.
And some of those documents were documents you can't even take out of the place where they're stored. You know,
Right.
Well, you know, in Mar-a-Lago, it's a club, and you can join the club and go on to the property of Mar-a-Lago. It's a membership deal. How do we know that Russian spies aren't members of Mar-a-Lago? I mean, if you were trying to plant spies, wouldn't you do that?
It only costs $200,000 to join.
Hey, the Russian government's got that money.
Yeah.
You know.
They're pretty sure they had Chinese national spies in there.
Mhm.
Last year and the year before, these unknown Chinese nationals just showed up out of nowhere and snuck in, didn't pay.
Oh, by the way, in case you don't know, Mar-a-Lago is valued at something like $750 million. But actually, that was Trump's estimation. The real estimation, and they did do an assessment. An appraisal, and the appraisal came to something like $65 million.
Well, that's only 100 times or so different.
And also, here's another one of his great lies. I love this one. His residence in Trump Tower is 11,000 square feet.
not 33.
But actually, it's only 11,000 square feet.
And didn't they say he said his apartment, Alex, was worth like $300 million?
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. He was basing the worth on that, based on the fact that it is what did I say originally?
750 million or something.
The square footage.
There was one mansion
like
they bought with 7
30,000,
million.
Yeah, 30,000, and it's actually, truthfully, it's only.
My brother said what you said. He's like, what?
It's only.
You know, Alex, his place is almost as big as yours, truthfully.
Actually, mine is a quarter. Mine is a quarter the size of his, of the real footage. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, also, you know how many floors Trump Tower has?
This is fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Way less.
it has 58 floors. The reason it has 58 floors is he wants it to be the tallest building. He wants it to be taller than the GE building, which is down the street. Okay? The only problem is it isn't 58 floors. It's only something like 48 floors.
They skip a bunch of
He
numbers.
skips 10 floors. And one time there was a fire in the building, and the fire department had to go up to, like, I don't know, the 39th floor or something like that, and they couldn't find it because of the way he jimmy rigged the whole thing about, you know, how tall the building was.
That must suck.
Yeah,
being
it's
in
normal
the
to skip
elevator.
the 13th floor because it's bad luck. But
Yeah.
That must suck being in the elevator and hit floor 40 and the door open and it's a wall there.
Yeah.
How do you get the elevator the elevator installation people to agree to that?
I don't know exactly how he did it, but if you
Hey,
look it up,
buddy.
if you go and you look up
Yeah.
how many floors is Trump Tower, they tell that story.
Yeah.
You know.
When I used to sell equipment to elevator manufacturers many years ago, like they have these strict rules in the elevator construction business. So it just blows my mind that they got away with that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, but that's the kind of lying he does. And he lies about his wealth and whatever, so that when he borrows money from the bank, they go, oh, he can afford it, he's a billionaire. But no, he's not a billionaire.
He's a perfect human specimen per his doctor.
Yes.
Yeah. He's in better health than me. I can't
Only
believe it.
weighs 120 pounds or 200.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. It's just amazing what this guy does.
You think Phil believes everything, Alex, or no?
What?
You think Phil believes everything?
No.
I hope he doesn't. I hope he
I don't know,
doesn't.
Phil Jr. How do you feel about it?
Well, his
Phil's in
wait a
saving
minute,
face mode.
wait a minute.
Since I've seen the light, I don't believe him.
No, but I'm saying that Tony
Neither
suddenly
do we,
became an
Tony.
acolyte of Trump's for a short time. But I don't
Yeah,
think you.
like one after I saw the light with my cancer. You know what? Just in case I check out, I better do the right thing.
Yeah, but I mean, you look at this and you're not happy with Trump.
My
are
brother
you?
hates his guts. He's a liar. There's certain things I did like that he did when he ran the country, but as far as his attitude and lying, he's just not a nice guy.
What did you like about how he ran the country?
I mean, I don't want to. I'd have to go a few things that I did.
You
like
can't come up with it.
No,
You
he's
can't come up
he's
with
like
it.
Phil.
I got homework still to do from now, and I'm reading a sales book. I feel like I'm in college, so I dropped out. I don't. You know what it is? I can joke around a little bit, so I'll ham it up. Did I really like his ad? I never really liked the guy. I mean, I got to be honest about it.
Yeah.
I like that he stepped away from regulating things, like he didn't get in people's way. But who knows? You know what? The country could have fell down to it. He could have left a big mess because you did have a pandemic, and I don't think it was just going to snap his fingers even if he was still in office. That was never going to happen.
Can you imagine how he would have handled the Ukraine situation had he still been in office?
I think Russia might have taken
The
over.
Ukraine situation is because of him.
Russia.
What'd you say?
I'm saying the
Jason?
Ukraine situation was because of him. Hillary Clinton was talking about this back in 2019.
Yeah.
You know, saying how the Russians are building up troops around Ukraine and they're going to be going in and doing what they're doing. And it was already, they knew it. And Trump was trying to freaking help the Russians out and let them get away with what they're doing now.
They'd be getting away with it right now. They absolutely would be getting away with it.
I don't know if we would have supported them with weapons. I don't know. I think he.
No, we wouldn't have supported.
Oh, he
them.
definitely wouldn't have.
No,
Yeah, I
he
think
was
he
stopping
would've
them
ran
from
the
getting
war.
them.
Remember, he was withholding the weapons back. That's why he got impeached the second
You know, if you don't
They would have
like,
been overrun. I think.
it's okay not to be too happy with Biden because there are a number of things he does that's not good, and there are things he does that are terrific. One of the things he did that was terrific was how he rallied the world around to help the Ukraine.
I give him the Ukraine thing was good. Yeah. I mean, how can
you
you
know,
not be?
and you know, he's somebody mentioned the other day. Everybody talks about how doddering he is or how old he looks, you know. But would you rather have somebody who's old and has all the talents that Joe Biden has, or would you rather have a young guy who doesn't particularly know the job? You know,
But
I
you
mean,
said
we had a
something a
complete
while-
amateur with Trump, obviously.
But you said something, Alex, that I think Biden really should do. I think like the hate, like sometimes he's out too much with these speeches that kind of comes across. Maybe less is more. Maybe we don't need to see you so much. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes I think you don't need to do the drum beat. I think if he didn't show himself so much.
Well, what I've said is that he is not. He's an okay speaker, but he's not a great one. But he should really send. He should send other people out to speak for him on certain subjects that they're experts at. In other words, if you have something about transportation, don't give the speech yourself. Get Pete Buttigieg.
Buttigieg, that's his job. Yeah.
You know, in other words, allow other people. Don't let people see you that much. You know, just get the job done. Let them know you're working. You know, you're getting the job done. But you know, when it came to Ukraine, he handled it pretty well. I really wish he'd been more aggressive. Actually, I'm one of the people that goes, you know, go ahead, Putin, drop a fucking nuclear device. You know, Russia will be powder the next day.
It's saber rattling.
Yeah.
I think Russia has already proven that they're not the strength that they thought they were.
They're very weak. I'll tell you something. Right now in Russia, Putin's in a lot of trouble.
Oh, yep.
I mean, everybody is starting to turn on him. Even the oligarchs are going, bye-bye. You know, we
you
don't
know how
want
many oligarchs have been pushed out of windows?
Yeah, at least 5 that I know of.
A lot.
Yeah.
Like way more. Like fake suicides, car accidents, window fallings.
I think within a month, Putin is not going to be in power anymore.
Well, they say he's not well.
He'll be living at Mar-Lago.
No, I think he's going to be buried in the same freaking golf course that Trump's wife is.
Yeah.
That's Mar-a-Lago.
Oh, is it? No, that's not Mar-a-Lago. That was in
No,
New Jersey.
he's in New Jersey. He's New Jersey.
Oh, what do I know?
Yeah,
Sorry,
she's
Jason.
buried out. She's on. I think she's the 18th hole.
Yeah.
And Putin will be the 19th hole.
Thank you, yeah.
There you go.
By the way, I interviewed her a few years back
wow.
when I was in San Francisco, and I liked her. You know, she was a very smart woman, very smart woman, and she might still be alive today if she didn't live in that damn apartment with the staircase.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't know why she didn't have a walk-in.
Did she fall down the stairs? Is that what
Yeah,
happened?
that's what happened.
Yeah.
Broke her neck.
Wow. Maybe Trump pushed her.
That's the rumor. That's the rumor.
Maybe it was a faulty rug installation.
Well, it shouldn't. It wouldn't have been the rumor because really she has kept her mouth shut where Trump is concerned. You know, she hasn't become she didn't become a naysayer, but she also didn't become a what do you call it?
Obviously, because she pushed out how many kids?
Yeah, but I mean, she didn't become a
If she
know,
would have
critic.
kept her mouth
Did not
open, it would
become
have been a couple of less kids.
No, but
Bit or
that
swallow. Yeah.
non-disclosure from the divorce, she couldn't say anything bad about Trump.
Right, right.
He's right. He probably paid her off not to say that.
Well, there's one other wife that we never talk about who had a kid by Trump, Marla Maples.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and has she been critical about him? I think she has been to, kind of to a smaller extent. The daughter, it's hard to tell how she feels. It's like I don't know. I guess some of them are still believe he's a billionaire, you know, and they're hoping they'll get some money out of him. But oh
Tiffany.
boy, you know,
Tiffany Trump.
I thought that when he was no longer president, we wouldn't hear from him any longer. And it doesn't stop. Every day there's a fucking picture of him every hour on MSNBC. I don't want to see that
There's
face.
so many Americans who are still just follow him like
Not as
so
many as you
crazy.
would think. I think maybe 30.
I see him every day. Is so crazy.
I know they're out there.
Where do you live, Jason?
Detroit.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought Detroit was mostly Democrat.
Outskirts.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, you know, it's kind of sad that some people feel that way about him. But I think the majority of the American people, I don't think he could get elected president again, not with all this stuff. And I think the Republicans are going to want to distance themselves from him because he's got too much baggage. You
Maybe
know?
we'll get that guy in Florida.
DeSantis.
He'll like
Oh,
DeSantis.
what a piece of work he is. And he's being sued by a bunch of immigrants.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
called the Martha's Vineyard.
So I will have to say, like, one thing I actually kind of do agree with them shipping immigrants to other cities
Why is that?
because they should be spread out. Because
No,
we
it's a
need
question
them.
of spreading
We
out.
need them in
No,
other areas.
but it's not the reason why they did it.
exactly because
Yeah.
they should be working with those other cities and let them know, hey, I'm going to be sending these people here.
Yeah.
And they're not.
How many
doing
can
that.
you take without having too much of a pressure on your
But
community?
also, these states that are doing this are getting money
Yeah.
from the federal government
Yeah,
for these immigrants. So cut off the funds. You want to ship them off to other areas and you're not going to tell them where you're going?
Yeah.
Cut off the money.
Yeah.
If I was an immigrant, I would love to be in Martha's Vineyard. That's a nice area.
Yeah, but you don't want to be in Martha's Vineyard when you didn't necessarily want to go there.
But once I would see it, I'd be like, this is
And
better than
plus you're there and you don't have any money, so you know. It
And that's the
doesn't
thing we
matter.
need to remember. These aren't immigrants from other countries. These are the natives of this continent.
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, they weren't in Florida. They were shipped to Florida by
From
Texas.
Texas.
They were actually from Texas.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, it's just it's so horrible what they're doing. They were lying to them. They told them they were going for better jobs. Sign this, release.
Yeah. And the release was in
$10
English.
McDonald's card.
Yeah, and a McDonald's card. You're right. Anyway, hey, that's it. The theme is going. Hear that? Thank you so much, Alan, for being with us again tonight. Brian, always good to have you here. Jason, love it when you call. Just, you know. Tony, you know, if you need to talk to somebody about this, let me know.
I got you myself.
Yeah, I got you on your speed dial, huh? I'm on your speed dial.
I have you saved. I told Chucky you fill that.
Anyway, Jeff, thank you, Kevin, thank you to Ray, and of course, thank you to our good friend Charlie Wallace. Everybody, give a big wave goodbye, and I'll give a big wave goodbye back at you. Okay, there they go. That's our citizen panel for tonight. And let me just hang up on them here unceremoniously. Of course, there's no Jack Bishop next because he's still out, but he'll be back again, he said, on Monday. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, in the meantime, I'll put on some other programming right after this, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Right? Same time, same station in life. In the meantime, as always, if you see her, tell her I love her, okay? Bye-bye, everybody.